YouTube, this is something what I'm concerned about Puerto Rico. There's something I need to discuss about. How can you move steps for it to become country? This is Jared's broadcast. Well, this in order for Puerto Rico to become a country, like you must immediately create fundings for it. And good news is that they already made a Puerto Rican citizenship. Like right now, temporary, it's a U.S. territory, and that's good that they're learning experientially, like close about independence. They're taking steps. They made a citizenship. Next, they made a Puerto Rican birth certificate. What's next? They need to get the Puerto Rican president of Puerto Rico, who's going to be in charge of the island when it becomes a country. For the Puerto Rican president, the one person must be trained to become a true president for Puerto Rico to care about its citizens, for those who live in Puerto Rico, and they can vote. So, if they want it for being president, you know, if they want to vote for election for Puerto Rico, they can only for president only owned by governor from Puerto Rico. That's like in different countries. Japan only votes for a prime minister, which one should be a prime minister or governor. So Puerto Rico should invent the flood walls so that they don't suffer from problems, even prevent earthquakes from going through Puerto Rico. And my positive announcement for my speech is I'm proud of some of you because you created the Puerto Rican citizenship and you created a Puerto Rican birth certificate. What's the next step is that you need to increase the funding to pay to get a Puerto Rican passport. It's important because it has to say Puerto Rico, and it has to say the passport, and it has to have a Puerto Rican symbol background or a flag, you know, because that will symbolize our own country, you know, not free association, not statehood. No, because with those things you cannot have a passport. It's only unless Puerto Rico is a country. We are getting there for Puerto Rico to become country. You just gotta put all your hopes, all your strengths, all your positive emotions about the island. You know, you gotta care what's happening today. You know, I believe somewhere sooner Puerto Rico will become a country in 2023. Not early, but a little bit late. Maybe in the midsummer or fall. Why I say that? Because I can tell, because they're trying to immediately take the step quicker as possible. They're trying the best they can, but we don't want to push it and rush it too much, you know. And also, once it becomes a country, like we have the people who work wants to be a president of Puerto Rico, they gotta like create politics. They gotta create laws, you know. They gotta create their own laws that will keep the citizens safe for Puerto Rico, you know, so that it can become its own better environment. We can have our own Puerto Rican tax benefits, even Puerto Rican grant benefits, you know. And once you completed the passport and also the steps of funding for having a president of Puerto Rico who's gonna be good for its citizens, for all those who live in Puerto Rico. Um, well, start creating businesses and also make sure that you hire security guards in the president's house for Puerto Rico. Do that just in case they don't get assassinated or shot. No, we do not want that because because our boundary is that we must protect our president if we have in Puerto Rico not get killed or assassinated. And also, we don't want war and protests go on and on. No, we want to end it. The only way to end this is to gain our independence, gain our rights. tell America that we don't want to be part of them, that we want to be our own country. Because I know we all can do this. But the thing is, for some of your side, I agree about independence. You have to take notes to write down how does the job for being a president or prime minister work. It's up to you. You can have a president or a prime minister to become for Puerto Rico. It's up to you. Either way you can pick. I'm just dreaming that when we have a president of Puerto Rico, imagine that he's a good to the Puerto Rican citizens, and one day I want to pay a visit to visit the president that works at his own San Juan Capitol House. You know, I know there's gonna be security guards. I know there's gonna be certain areas I'm allowed to visit. You know, who knows? Not gonna be his private area where he sleeps and lives. No, he's gonna let me visit his office because presidents don't allow that in other countries. Because I believe that when we get a president for Puerto Rico, if we have a very handsome guy, a beautiful woman to be president, she's going to do her job to care about our new country that's gonna come in 2023. You know, and I told you the video that I told you is all about that. When we were watching about the Puerto Rican citizenship, we are close to become independent. But right now it's a U.S. territory. It's gonna soonly become a country on its own, you know, because we can't keep suffering with debates. Forget it. It's not the answer. Just believe in the word independence. Independence means that a land or territory become its own country, that they don't want to be part of their other land anymore. They just want to have it become their own country. It means to have their own prime minister or have a president or have a governor or the mayor of Puerto Rico. When I was in high school, I was educated all about politics. So from the United States, I learned, you know. But the rule is, there's something I need to suggest you. If there's a legal citizen that comes to Puerto Rico and he wants to live there, that won't count. Because then the people of Puerto Rico will send that person back to their country. Because that's called a legal immigrant. Like they're trespassing the country and they live there if they don't have permission from their country. No, that's off limits. They're gonna do that too. Just put that as a suggestion because that should be a law. People who are legal immigrants for Puerto Rico and do not have permission from their other country where they live at, they have to go back to their country. It's not gonna work like that. They have to have permission from their country in order for some of them who wanna live in Puerto Rico. It includes all countries around the world. If America, like, let me say for example, if someone from Portugal was a legal citizen and he wanted to go to Brazil, guess what? People from Brazil will find his country to contact them and say, what is he doing here? Why is he illegally trespass? Why is he legally an immigrant in this country without his country's permission? Because people can go back to their country. For some people who can't take it too seriously, they either get arrested. That's it. You can get arrested or they'll send you back to their country. That's the rule. And that's what the Puerto Rican president will do in his future for the year 2023. Because you cannot live in another country very illegally without your country you're living in's permission. That couldn't cause a jeopardized situation. No. Because in order for you to move to Puerto Rico, for some of you, you must have permission from the United States and give up your U.S. citizen to become a Puerto Rican citizen. Just like other countries do that, you know. But what you can do for Puerto Rico, everyone knows you can visit if you're living in America. But people who live in Puerto Rico cannot, for some, you cannot become illegal immigrants to live in the United States. That concludes all countries are not allowed to do that because then they will have to send that person back to their own country where they live at. They can't do that. Because in once our dreams and our bright side comes, we will use a money currency called euros, but right now we gotta focus on using US dollars. This announcement is never gonna be forever. I'm just gonna give you the review that what does it mean that Puerto Rico wants to achieve its dream? What does it mean about an independent passport? We have to create a fund in order to receive a Puerto Rican passport that has to represent the Spanish symbol or a flag. It has to resemble its heritage and its own country. That's what it has to stand for. It's like other countries have, Puerto Rico, I believe, when it becomes independent, it's gonna be a tropical country, just like Dominican Republic, Honduras. You know. I was dreaming that San Juan one day will make tall buildings similar to Tokyo and Times Square of New York. You know, some parts of Puerto Rico, I'm not saying all, so I want to keep it decent because the thing is that we have to take care of animals from the wild. They need a forest to live in. You don't want to take all of them down because or else they're going to all die. They need it because of food and water. They have to have their own habitat to hide from. And no animal cannot live without a forest habitat or a swamp. We have an island that's part of Puerto Rico, if I forgot, Yes, it's part of Puerto Rico. When something that's part of Puerto Rico, those are Puerto Rican citizens that live there. There's some islands that are part of Spain, also some islands that are part of Japan, but it's a territory. It's not gonna be, but it hasn't decided yet to be its own country. That for them it takes a long time. I know that Puerto Rico soon is gonna become independent, but other territories it's gonna take longer. Others of less, I don't know. All you have to do is believe in your skills and your dreams. And this is Jared Santiago on YouTube. If you love my speech, please subscribe. And don't forget to give a like, comment like this.